Hello and welcome to the Education Exchange. I'm your host, Superintendent Jeremy Calles, and we're back for season 2 of the Education Exchange. And our guest to kick off this season is Tolleson Union's newest principal. Martin, tell the audience about yourself.
Yes, Martin Perez Jr., the newest and proud principal at Tolleson Union High School.
All right, so let's dive back into your background a little bit more and let the audience know a little bit more about like why you came to Tolleson Union, your history in education, why you believe in education. Let them know who they expect to see when they come to that campus this year.
Yes, no, it's an honor an honor and privilege to be given the opportunity to lead Tolleson Union High School. Education has been transformational in my life and my family, and the reason why is because it's opened up opportunities. The oldest of three grew up in Compton, California, to two parents, teenage parents. My mom, actually, I was born her freshman year in high school, and over time, there was multiple challenges that we faced. But one of those was with my youngest brother, only a year apart, same household, same community, same parents, but our trajectories were very different. And that was through, as a result of education. I was able to, excel academically, but also struggled academically when I went to high school. My brother, similar challenges, but he fell through the cracks, in and out of juvenile hall, prison, and I essentially was able to graduate high school, at the top of my class, and went on to college on a full scholarship. And when I was in college, I've had this question of why was I here, and why was my brother and other members from my community not. And when I decided to become a teacher that really believed in all students, regardless of what they are on paper, to give them an opportunity to be themselves and open up opportunities. And that's been the nexus of my why and my educational philosophy, which I carried on when I was a teacher, and then essentially an administrator, most recently at Phoenix Union High School District, and then as a district director as well. And those experiences, I look forward to expanding on that commitment to excellence in education, but more importantly, ensuring that every student feels like they belong and at Tolleson Union High School.
That's great. It's definitely going to be a benefit for our students that you can relate and understand some of their background. Another benefit is the fact that you were actually able to come on contract a little early, and you were able to observe the campus, make some connections, get to know some of our students as well as some of our staff. So to really put you in a position where you can hit the ground running this year. And so early on, what are you thinking are some of the changes you want to implement going into this school year?
Yes, no, thank you for that question. I was very fortunate to be given the opportunity to, join the staff early on, towards the end of April, May, and I did a lot of listening, what I call my listening tour. And so it was a lot of listening, talking to staff, teachers, front office, students, and there was a pattern, and that came into what I'm calling the 3 C's. So clarity, communication, and collaboration. And that's the umbrella of, as a vision, mission, aligned to the district strategic goals. And some things that really were brought to the forefront was safe school. We need to make sure that we have a safe school where not just like safety physically, but safe where students can be themselves, regardless of who they are, through clubs and our sports program, classes. And so making sure that students, one, safety, and then most importantly, instruction, that we make sure that we elevate our instruction. Tolleson Union High School is a flagship high school of the district, pretty soon getting to celebrate 100 years, the centennial. And so one of the things that was brought up during the listening tour was around the 3 C's, like clarity, communication, collaboration. So for us, we're going to be a big focus on our professional learning teams or professional learning communities to make sure that our staff is re-engaged and center around instructional excellence with the goal of making sure that our students are provided with that opportunity to not just excel academically, but to also excel themselves as a student and member of the community.
Now, as you're implementing these changes to focus on these goals, any strategies you have in mind for those who may be resistant? Change is a difficult thing to implement. You might have some early adopters, but you also typically run into those who like things just to continue the way they've always been. What's your approach for how you get everybody on board, get everybody on the same page, rowing in the same direction?
Yes, one thing that is very important to me is the relationship building. And relationship building for me is something that I've carried in all the roles that I've had. And that starts with clarity. That starts with being upfront and sharing with staff, expectations that I have as a principal, but then also communication, two-way communication, and more importantly, collaboration. So with stakeholders, our staff, for them to have the opportunity to be able to be part of the decision-making process, but also for me, if there's not clarity with certain staff members, to bring them in and talk to them, one-on-one, be approachable, be there for them, so that if there's any misunderstandings, any confusions, or any further clarifications, that no staff feels that there's no space to do that. Because in order for us to make sure that we become an excellent school and make changes, we need to be open for feedback. So part of the strategy will be that for staff members to feel that they can provide that feedback, whether they agree or disagree.
Now, another key to hitting the next level with achievement is parental engagement. And for our community, we have a lot of working families. They have full-time jobs. By the time they get home from work, they're tired. It's really difficult to then also try to get them to be involved in school after a long day. Sometimes those are 10, 12-hour days, and we're asking them to, instead of go home and make dinner, come over here and hang out with us so we can talk about academics. What are some of your strategies that you think you'd be able to implement this year to try to increase parental engagement, to help get that academic return when the students are seeing their parents engaged in their education?
Yes, no, the parental engagement is extremely important. I definitely do plan to implement coffee with the principal, cafecito with the principal, and to offer a morning session and a evening session to give our parents and guardians the opportunity to engage, whether their job or obligations permit them, either time of the day, but in collaboration with the district. Under your leadership, Mr. Calles, in partnership with Dr. Lagunas, I know district-wide FACE is an initiative, and so I did reach out to Dr. Lagunas, and she will be supportive. And the commitment to our parents at Tolleson Union High School is not just to provide like sit and get updates, but more so focus on high impact changes where our parents can be a part of those changes. So, for example, safety on campus. Safety can look different to a teacher as it does for a student, but also our parents. What are they hearing when their son or daughter come home? And so, from that parent perspective, they'll be able to provide either suggestions or recommendations based on what they're seeing with the initiatives on campus. So through the parent engagement component will be an opportunity to really empower our parents to make sure that they understand that their voice does matter.
And for the acronym you use for our users, FACE, Family and Community Engagement. So yes, definitely a district wide initiative, but I know it'll be a primary focus for you to help help everybody know that we're all family here and get those parents involved. One of the other things you touched on was safety. So we have some district wide initiatives that are going forward, and then you have the freedom to implement some site wide initiatives. I'll touch a little bit on the district wide initiatives, kind of get your feedback on that, and then anything else that you intend to implement for the upcoming year. But safety, the number one of our values of our service acronym, safety being the top value brought forward by students. Some of the things happening district wide are that we are looking at bringing weapons detectors onto campuses. That probably won't be implemented until second semester. But we also have our AI cameras that have been assisting with safety, and some of our halo detectors that have been helping with safety issues. We're leveraging a lot of technology to address the safety. It's getting mixed reactions from the community. You have those that are all for it. You have those who are against it. Even with students, it's a mixed reaction. But what is your reaction as we continue to implement some of these safety upgrades?
Yeah, so my administrative career, assistant principal, actually started with safety. I oversaw this discipline at a very large comprehensive high school campus similar to Tolleson Union High School, previous district at Phoenix Union High School District. And so I want to commend you as a superintendent and our governing board and cabinet members for the innovative approaches to safety. Not all districts in Arizona have weapon detectors, as you mentioned, or other initiatives that the district is implementing. So to me, I am excited, but also feel fortunate to have those resources because not every district has them. So I think to me, again, it's going back to the three C's: the clarity, communication, collaboration, and working at Tolleson Union High School District with our stakeholders, our teachers, students, and parents, to help them understand of the resources. And sometimes there is hesitation because it's new and it hasn't been done before. But I think when the stakeholders see the connection and importance of what it does, which is safety, it does reduce some of that anxiety or some of that worrisome. For us at Tolleson Union High School, we are excited for the opportunity that you're giving all campuses to implement the cell phone policy, but more importantly, the resource for teachers to have in every classroom, and the option to students to either put away in a, we're calling, I don't know the name, but
The cell phone lockers.
cell phone lockers are, which is going to be huge for us, and then also one knowing that there's a resource, and that's Sierra Linda with under Principal Mr. Camacho, who they've done it for a full year. So I know it might be one of those new initiatives, but we have a resource that we can go back and ask any clarifying or feedback as we implement this new initiative on campus.
That's good. Now, what other things do you think that when people come back to campus this year are going to look different, are going to feel different than what they were experiencing last year? So you did get to spend a little time on there last year. What were some of the things you identified? You're like, I definitely want to do that a little bit differently once I take over.
Yes, no, that's a great question. I think to me is really collaborative approach of not just excellence, but like really understanding that, with safety, it's a whole team approach. It's not just our teachers, it's not just our students, but it's all staff members on campus. So some initiatives to that will be during our flex time, known as advisory in other high school districts, and that's it's usually 30 minutes a day, either two days a week or 4 days a week, where students are provided intervention support, RTI. For us at Tolleson Union High School this year, we're going to be focusing 2 days in partnership with University High School, the other high school who also sits on campus, and really hone in on the importance of not just the intervention support, but the importance of like belonging, making sure that students feel supportive. And with that is I don't have it with me, but our student IDs that's important for staff to know who's on campus, whether it be a student or staff. And so we're going to make sure that we hone in on those initiatives to make sure that it impacts the climate and culture. And that's with all staff members, beginning with our front office staff, who are amazing. They're usually the face of the school, to the moment that they walk to the classroom. So I feel very positive that this year students and guests and teachers will feel part of a community where they're embracing not just who they are, but more importantly, their role and what they contribute to the overall Tolleson Union High School community.
Now, some of the other people you've got to meet so far, your fellow principals, your colleagues from our other sites, and I'm sure you've picked up already that they're a little competitive, especially in regards to getting to the A. It's kind of a race to the A.
Yes.
University High historically has been an A, but then we just had West Point become an A last year. We have one, if not two, of our schools looking at moving to an A here in September when letter grades come out. A lot of the other schools, including Tolleson, knocking on the door for that A, still in the Bs, but kind of knocking on the door for that A. Where do you see yourself in the race? What do you give your chances of jumping out there and beating some of them to that A?
Yes, no. So I am very competitive. I play sports growing up and all throughout high school, and I think in education you have to be competitive, and that's okay to be competitive, because in a good way, right? And then when I say competitive, is making sure that our students and community are provided with excellence in every endeavor. I know it's our motto for the district. So I think, to me, I want to make sure that right off the back that we are making strides to becoming an excellent school, an A. So that starts with our structures. That starts with the initiatives for us that around professional learning teams, PLTs, professional learning communities, PLCs. And so really making sure that all staff are fully a part of it. And that starts, from teaching bell to bell, from being visible on campus. So the question, going back to where do I see our Tolleson Union High School, I definitely do see ourselves making great strides this year. If we don't get to an A this year, that's okay. We're going to have a good foundation for the following year. And ironically, I think that would be a huge win for our community, because if I'm getting the dates correct, we'll be celebrating our centennial. So what better way to celebrate 100 years of a school community that they've overcome so much, and this will now be part of the legacy.
Well, definitely hope to be ringing in the 100-year celebration with the A celebration for the school. And I want to thank you for coming on to the show and sharing with our audience. And I want to thank our audience for tuning in once again to the Education Exchange, where we aim to enlighten our parents and empower our students. We look forward to seeing you again next time.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of the Education Exchange. Have a question or want to be a guest on our podcast? Email podcast@tuhsd.org for more information. Missed an episode? Catch all seasons of the Education Exchange on your favorite streaming platforms or at www.tuhsd.org/podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for another episode of the Education Exchange.